Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Can we get serious now?
One thing that did happen during the 60s was some music of an unusual or experimental nature did get recorded and did get released. Now look at who the executives were in those companies at those times. Not hip young guys. These were cigar-chomping old guys who looked at the product that came and said, I don't know. Who knows what it is? Record it, stick it out. If it sells, all right. We were better off with those guys than we are now with the supposedly hip young executives who are making the decisions of what people should see and hear in the marketplace.
Success in the music business begins with a dream, a vision. This podcast will give you, the listener, the insight and tools to turn that vision into a reality. Meet the industry professionals who work day by day behind the scenes, helping to make those dreams come true. Welcome to the business side of music.
Hey, we're back in the studio here, Nashville, Tennessee. Real treat. Thanks to Will Carter Music Starts here for setting this up. If you haven't heard of these guys, first of all, let me give you a little Cliff Notes history lesson. Hits include New Girl Now, Bad Attitude, Feel It Again, What Does It Take, All Along You Knew. Film and TV soundtracks. John Cusack's One Crazy Summer, TV show Miami Vice, Charlie Sheen's The Wraith, and if you're a Lethal Weapon fan, you'll know the title cut. 7 studio albums, 2 live albums, 3 compilations, and 6 top 40 singles in both the U.S. and Canada. And they're here today to talk with us about their new project. We have the guys Johnnie Dee, Derry Grehen, and Dave Betts from Honeymoon Suite. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, it is morning, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming to our kitchen.
Yeah. You guys have got some history. You've been going since You've been going since 1981. Formed in Niagara Falls, which is where the name Honeymoon Suite comes from.
That's where the name came from.
Yeah.
We basically did a lot of stuff in Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
You know, I think a lot of people who listen to pop and rock music don't really understand that there's a lot of great Canadian acts. It's just not U.S. You know, you got everybody from Paul Anka to Randy Bachman to my buddy Jim Witter, Bryan Adams, Anvil. You know,
Anvil, right on.
Hey, I worked.
They're
with
making
him.
movies now.
I worked with him back in the '80s. So, and Honeymoon Suite. I mean, you guys, you've been doing this for a long time now.
Yeah. Yes, we have. We started a long
time ago. And some changes in the band through the years, but you're still the original one.
Yeah, actually, we are now an original band.
Back to it, yeah.
Yeah, back to it. We have been for a long time.
Yeah.
4 out of the 5 guys are original.
Yeah.
Peter Nunn, the keyboard player, has been with the band a long time, but he's not the original keyboard player.
Yeah, Ray Coburn was the original, but you know, actually Peter's been in the band longer than Ray, so I have to say original.
Yeah. And that says a lot in itself.
Yeah.
You guys, you know, with all the hits you've written, all the music videos that were out there, all the touring, and you're still plugging along, you've got a new project, which we're going to definitely talk about. But let's talk first. How did the band get started? How did you guys form?
I started the band as a cover band, and it was me, and that's why I was from Niagara Falls, whatever. But anyway, I got to make this long story short.
We got plenty of time. We're good.
Went out, you know, put out a fake set list and whatever, and got up and started the band. Started playing covers a long time ago, playing 3 sets a night, and developed the following by Saturday. Start Thursday, Saturday, you had a crowd. Anyways, it came down to songs. My manager introduced me to Derry Grehen, who had some songs, already recorded. He had a song called New Girl Now. And he had his voice on it. And I said, just long story short, had some great songs. Went in there, recorded New Girl Now, got a bunch of new players, and started doing the same thing again. Just getting up on stage, playing New Girl Now, Burning in Love, Stay in the Light, Wave Babies, those kind of songs. And developed our sort of own following. It wasn't that long after that we had record executives come and see our band, and it was like we got recorded.
Pretty quickly, you had the interest of Wea out of Canada.
Yes.
And signed you to a deal. The ball got rolling. You got some hits going out there. And then at one moment in the career, you, Johnny, got a little disruption in Los Angeles.
California, got hit by a car, got busted up real good. In the middle of, I can't remember what record we were doing. I think it was Racing After Midnight. Was it, Derry?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at the airport, got nailed by a car. But anyways, I got all fixed up. A Canadian doctor who took care of the Maple Leafs, the team.
Yeah.
He got me up and running right away.
Because if a hockey player doctor can't fix it, nobody can.
He fixed me up real good, and bang, we did that Looking Out for Number One video. I had a cast on. I was really small, and I was up and going. The record company wants to get you going right
that's
away.
right.
And they got me going.
Yeah, they did. How did you get involved with the different film and television projects? Now, Miami Vice was, the song was the Ferrari chase scene, if you look it up. But then John Cusack's One Crazy Summer, Lethal Weapon, title track. How did that come about?
I can answer that. That was, as you said, we had been in a couple of films already, The One Crazy Summer and The Wraith, because Lethal Weapon was a Warner Brothers film, and we were on Warner Brothers Records. I think at the time they were just affiliating the two, and we were a band that they were trying to push for the new record. Ted Templeman was the producer for that track. So
who's a heavy hitter in his own right.
Absolutely, and we were very big fans of Ted, not just of the Van Halen catalog, but so many other things he did from the Doobies and on and on and on. So it was a real good opportunity, and we just went down to hear the song. We actually flew down, and we had the demo, which we weren't really thrilled with, and we heard the song, and we weren't thrilled, and then we went and watched the movie. Because the movie was just about to come out. And we went, do you remember that? We went over to this small theater, the screening theater in the Warner lot.
So there was no music soundtrack to this film at that point?
There was. It was pretty much done.
Oh, it was?
And so
okay.
we were like a last minute thing. Well, let's get a song. And so we saw the movie and we loved it. We were very, very happy with the product. And then that night we rehearsed it in the studio. And the next day we recorded it. The sad thing is that because, this is my opinion anyway, you will never see Honeymoon Suite in the credits. There's no mention of us in the credits at all in that film. And I think it's because it was just about to be released and they'd already done all the credits. And so they just did not go back in and edit that.
Wow.
So I think the movie came out something like 2 or 3 weeks later, did it not? And
last minute thing. It's the last thing they put in there.
Yeah. That, I guess I have to say that kind of sucks a little bit, because the movie went on to be a big blockbuster hit.
Massive film, and they've made a number since then. And it's nice that we are affiliated with that, the original thing. And our fans know about it, and people who are fans of the film know who it is. And
yeah, if you sit and watch that very end of the movie and watch the credits go down, the song comes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it's very cool. And then, of course, Miami Vice, the Ferrari scene, you kind of, for whatever it looks like, you kind of wind up in some good cop films or TV shows with your music.
Yeah. We've had three songs and did 3 different Miami Vice episodes.
Bad Attitude was in it?
Bad Attitude, Feel It Again, and New Girl Now.
wasn't Bad Attitude the last song in the very last episode?
The finale of...
And we're talking about the TV series.
The TV series of Miami Vice.
Yeah.
We'd had 2 songs, in New Girl and Feel It Again, in previous episodes. And then the finale of Miami Vice, the very last episode, they put in Bad Attitude, the big gunfight at the end.
Very
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. You watch the movie or you watch the TV show and you hear the music, it's kind of got to be like you're hearing your song on the radio, too.
It is. It's a thrill.
Yeah.
It's great.
So you guys go on and you record more albums. I think at one point, we talk about Ted Templeton with the Doobies. Michael McDonald came in, I guess, when you were taking a medical...
there was a song we were kind of stumped on, and Ted brought in Mike. He had a lyric and all that sort of stuff. And me tried to cop what Mike was doing. I did the best I could. That's pretty much all I can say.
It sounds great.
Thank you.
Radio play, and we talk about that too. You had obviously more success in Canada than you did in the United States from radio. But once again, let's not underplay that because, the Canadian market is huge. It's a big country, a lot of people. Did that translate over into Europe? A lot of radio play over there? Or?
A little bit, mostly for the second album, mostly for The Big Prize. So that was the most successful record for us in Europe, and we toured. We did a lot of a long tour for that record, supporting a band called Saga, all throughout Europe. So that went very well for us. But Europe's a difficult market to crack too. I mean, it's everywhere is a difficult market to crack
anymore.
Clearly.
Yeah,
but we did okay. We did all right over Europe, but our main focus was North America. We did better in Canada than the States, but we did quite well in the U.S. too, really.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about this new project you guys are working on and what brought you to Nashville, Tennessee. In the studio with Johnnie Dee, Derry Grehen, and Dave Betts, Honeymoon Suite.
Hey, everybody, this is songwriter Jerry Salley, and you're listening to Bob Bender on the business side of music.
You're listening to the business side of music.
Hi, this is Vinny Rebus, the founder of Indie Connect. Our goal is to ensure that you have the knowledge, the tools, skills, resources, and connections that you need to develop a profitable and long-lasting career in music. One way we do this is through these business side of music podcasts. I'd also like to invite you to check out Indie Connect magazine, our free multimedia online publication packed with practical interviews and advice from music industry experts. Go to www.indieconnectmag. That's www.indieconnectmag.com. Let us walk with you and guide you every step of your musical journey.
You're listening to the business side of music.
When you lose your love and it makes your life turn cold, when it tears you apart, your heart and soul just can't go on. When love's alive, it sets you free. When it's gone, it's plain to see how even love can become a lethal weapon. When you lose control.
Back in the studio, here with Honeymoon Suite, Johnnie Dee, Derry Grehen, and Dave Betts sitting around the table here in Nashville, Tennessee. So, Canadian band, you guys have toured, ton of albums, a lot of great radio play, television, film, and now you're in Nashville.
Love it.
What brought you here?
I'm the only one, and the rest of these boys live in Canada, but I've been living in Illinois for about 15 years now. And by
Illinois,
yeah, that's at the moment, normal Illinois.
Normal people scare me.
So I'd been coming down to Nashville for a long time, like commuting back and forth, driving down and writing with people. And over the years, I've kind of met some people, and I'd reached out. I knew Mike Krompass was down here, a fellow Canadian.
Right.
And I knew of him.
From Smash Mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's from Toronto, and I'd never met him, but I reached out to him because I'm always looking for new people when I come here. So we kind of hooked up. I originally worked with him with my daughter, Leah, is a singer-songwriter. So originally we came down here, and Mike did a track with her. And then following that, he said that we're starting this new label with Rich Redmond called 1225. And if you guys have some new songs, you got to send them to me. At that, and just coincidentally, we just demoed 2 new tracks up in Toronto. And I was looking for a label because we wanted to get going on an album. So I sent it to Mike. One thing led to another. Mike's, this is good. We want to go move ahead with this. So Johnny and I and the guys are here now. We just kind of going back and forth, making trips every few weeks or every month. And started tracking the new record, and here we are. It's sounding really cool. Mike's got a studio in his house down in Murfreesboro, so it's
everybody does.
It's a really cool setup.
Yeah, this is really
Mike is.
It's a real studio. He's got his drums like downstairs in a big room. It's great environment.
Yeah. New project. Who's doing all the writing?
Johnny and I have been writing for a while now up in Canada, just kind of getting ready for this.
Yeah. How long have you been putting this project together?
I don't know. It's really kicked into high gear probably in the last 3-4 months,
Gotcha.
Where it's like actually moving ahead. These are the songs, and John and I have been honing in on finishing the strongest tracks. And now that we had the Mike in the picture, then we really started to hone in on the tracks that we wanted to do.
This is becoming more of a team effort, this record, which is really good. It's not just Johnny and Derry. It's like there's Dave and Gary and Pete. Everybody's got their little bits they're putting in, either it be lyrically, drum-wise, melody-wise, or let's try this or try that. So it's really like a team effort too,
Yeah.
It's not just Derry and I,
Yeah, this is the first time. Johnny and I had already made a couple of trips down here just to meet Rich and Mike and listen to ideas and start hashing out the songs. And now this week we've had Dave and Gary and Peter all come down because now we're tracking with the band because I'd always said to Johnny, I want this to be a band album. I want all of us to play on it and be involved. So it's really cool that we're all together. This is so different for us, but I'm glad it's happening.
And back to the writing part of it, we're like in doing something that we haven't done for decades. Is like be together, like we're in a house right now. Yeah. And it's like I'm playing the tunes, the tracks every morning, and these guys are coming down and they're going, okay, what's that? And I'll sing a lyric to them, and they'll go, hey, that's really cool. Okay, try this. Well, don't sing that lyric. Try this lyric. Or what are you talking about? You can't do that. That's too sad, or whatever. So this whole environment is really, really cool on this record. Like we tour a lot, so we're not together. We're like, as soon as we get off the plane, everybody hits the rooms, and then like we kind of see each other on stage, and then bang on the plane. But this is a great thing that we're all together. It's a good call from Derry to have the whole band here. I'm excited about it.
Let's sidebar for a moment, because one of the things that keeps coming up in the conversation is touring. You guys do a lot of touring.
I wouldn't say a lot. We do a lot of spring and summer touring, fairs and festivals.
Yeah.
It's quite intense in the summer, but in the winter, there's not a lot going on because we do out,
We consistently play. Dermot is downplaying it. We play a lot. I mean, as a singer, I feel it. So The greatest thing now is that we fly into shows and fly home. So we get a lot more done in respect to that. But we're constantly playing. And lucky enough, this year, we've already did like New Year's and all that sort of stuff, right? But we had a little bit of downtime, which has given us the time to do this record. We start up in April. We have sort of a schedule already, but just in the last day or so, like 3 more shows have come up. So it kills a singer, but it's all good. It's a lot of work as far as I'm concerned.
So you're back in the studio, but you're working out these songs. How much more time do you see this project taking? Do you kind of have a timeline, or is it very free?
Derry is always on a timeline, but right now we've pretty much finished tracking. We're overdubbing. After today, we'll have keys done, and then I'm going to come back, or I'll have Mike come to Canada. We'll find a studio, but we're going to get vocals done. So throughout this whole time, we've laid ghost tracks vocally. We know what's going to titles are and lyrically what's happening melody wise. But if you want to, it's a matter of overdubbing right now and getting the vocals done. So it shouldn't be that much longer.
The best records we did in the past is when we did it old school. We went as a band together, we hung out, we did pre-production, we had a producer, and we just worked out every day. This is kind of like going back to that. So it's good. It has that spontaneity.
And it's quick.
Yeah. So I like that, because the last few albums we've done, it's kind of been done in pieces where we're sending files around and back and forth. And they were good for what they were, but this is totally different. And Mike is really talented.
Files thing never works. Never worked for me. I had to do it. I made it work, but I didn't like it. This is where it's at.
Being in the studio as a band kind of makes it a more cohesive unit. And you're right. So many of these projects over the years, so many artists do, they just bring in players as they need them. But you guys work here, like you said. You come down in the morning, you listen to a song, come up with ideas. You're fine-tuning all the time, right?
You do, and I think what Johnny and Derry are referring to is one of the neat things about it is it's a constant creative process, and we're all here to contribute. As he said, that was the best way we did it in the past. And mind you, we can't go back to the past. We don't have the budget. We don't have the time where we can spend 6 weeks in a studio just working on tracks. That would be nice. So there is constraints with time, unfortunately, but by the same token, it's still nice to feel that energy. And me coming in here, like I just came down here the other day, hearing the results of a lot of these songs and hearing the energy in the songwriting and seeing the energy in the 2 other guys, too, it's taken up another level. It's a wonderful aspect about art is that you can all of a sudden find that spark, no matter what your muse is, whether it's painting or writing or whatever, and you can go with it. And it seems to be that that's what's happening right now. And it just sort of flows. And eventually the good songs, as Keith Richards says, they kind of write themselves.
Yeah,
they just sort of flow out.
This record has reminded me of the Big Prize record. And the reason for that is our producer, Mike. He's a musician, and this makes things go quicker. It's like not monkey talk all the time. It's like if it's.
I like that expression, monkey talk.
Well, yeah. I said it. I was watching, Mike and a drummer and Dave, start discussing what the fills should be, and they're going, it's like monkey talk. Anyways, the thing is, I got to credit Mike. It's like he doesn't have to explain it. He'll just play it. And like if it's a bass thing, bang, I'll just pick up the bass and play it. If it's a drum thing, same thing. Guitar thing, wow, just pick it up and play it.
It's crazy with that guy.
Yeah, and he's like so quick. And
It's
he's
one-stop
talented.
It's one-stop shopping.
Yeah, and he reminds me of Bruce Fairbairn. I have to say it. Rest in peace. But Bruce, he was great on that record, and this reminds me of that record, and I think it's going to be
And those are the
great.
sorry to interrupt you, Johnny. Those are the guys that always work best with us. I've thought
Yes.
we always needed a guy like that who has who knows
musician.
good but knows good songs too, and can
picks
can
up
talk to you.
melodies. Yeah.
And so, but he's right. Not to go on and repeat it, but he's funny. Like he picks up the guitar and he oh my God, he plays it like. And then he picks up and he goes down and plays the drums. And it's oh my
So
God.
it's
He's so my
a little bit of
Lord.
monkey talk, but then right down to the drums. This is what I mean. Yeah.
And it keeps the process going.
I said, Mike, is there anything you can't do? But it's great because it just moves it right along. And I was going to say earlier, there's no substitute for FaceTime, having people face-to-face in a room working together as opposed to doing Skype and sending files around. Even when I write, I can co-write online, but there's no substitute for being in the same room.
Nashville, Tennessee, obviously country music capital of the world, but it's also got a burgeoning rock scene, has for quite a while. Kings of Leon from here.
It's changing,
Yeah,
man.
it
It's
is.
like there's a lot of everything here now.
I've been here this is my 4th time, I think. I haven't seen anything except for my hotel and the studio. I want to get out. I think we're going out tonight, as a matter of fact. I don't know what we're doing. Probably see some bands. Check it out.
Are you guys picking up on any of that kind of that Nashville vibe? You say obviously you're in the hotel,
I'm in
but
through grocery stores and the liquor store, of course. But
end
the
of the
people
night.
here, there's a vibe with the people. And I don't know what it is. There's a good vibe everywhere I've been to, whether it be Walmart, the grocery store, or whatever. It's just some sort of vibe, energy. I don't know what it is.
Good old Southern hospitality.
Yeah,
It is.
Where you get the fish from? Mississippi. Okay.
We've been so busy in the studio, we haven't had a chance to get downtown, but I hope we'll do that tonight because that's a whole different other vibe in itself.
All the things that I've seen like on TV, I want to go see.
And it's
Right.
Tin Pan this week too, so there's
Yes.
a lot going on.
Okay, see all these expressions and whatever. What's Tin Pan?
They still have Ernest Tubbs record store?
still have Ernest Tubb record store. Yeah.
Like seriously, I was
yeah.
at the airport, right? And I had to wait for Derry to come and get me. And there's this place called Tootsie's.
Yep. In the airport.
In the airport.
Yeah.
Okay, so I sat, and then one of the players came up. And he goes, "Who are you?" I go, I'm a singer for a Canadian band called Honeymoon Suite. He goes, "No." I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "You're an icon." I go, "Come on, man." Whatever. But it was like so cool. Like they, musicians know, and people know who we are, which is really cool.
It is cool. And what's even more cool about it is they don't get starstruck. It's not. They treat you as equals, and
Right.
and you'll find out as you work in this city and you get out a little more, like you're talking about doing, that more people want to start working. They want to start writing. They want to start recording. They want to start playing.
Do you mind if I ask Dave a question?
Sure,
Because he
please.
knows everything about our band. Do we play Nashville?
Yes.
Okay.
We played a club, I think.
elaborate.
I think we played a club.
Well, where was it where some famous comedian got up on stage and introduced us and called us, and now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Honeymoon Suites.
Was I in the band then?
Yes, you were in the band. And you were the Honeymoon Suites, famous comedian. I don't know if it was Nashville, but it was in America.
Shecky Green.
No, it wasn't him. Anyways, I thought
He's a famous comedian.
I thought he knew everything. But anyways, it'll come back like in about 20 minutes from now. Dave will tell me.
Very good.
Well, you touched on something in this town. It's like it's no big deal. People are used to it. You go to Starbucks and you'll see people, but people are cool about it. I was in a deli in Green Hills, one of my last trips, and with my family, my wife and daughter, I was having lunch, and Vince Gill is up there, sitting at the cash register just talking, and people are like, no big deal. I'm like, fuck, that's Vince Gill.
It's Vince Gill, yeah.
Yeah, and but they're used to that, and they leave, they don't bother people because that's just the way it is.
Yeah, now that second week of June when we have CMA Music Fest, or I'm old school, we used to call it Fanfare, then it's a whole different story. But then you have 150,000 people from out of town. So, and you guys came at a great time because next week's the NFL draft here in Nashville. So they're going to have another 150,000 people in town. One of the biggest stages in the U.S. and Jumbotron. So yeah, you guys came at a great time. We're going to take a break, get another word in for one of our sponsors, and come back, talk a little more with Johnnie Dee, Derry Grehen, and Dave Betts, Honeymoon Suite here in the studio.
Hi, this is Dirk Kay, and you're listening to the business side of music.
You're listening to the business side of music.
Wow, I just joined the Music Starts Here community. This is a truly hidden gem for anyone in the music business. Whether you live in Nashville or anywhere else in the world, Music Starts Here is like a GPS for your music career. This is the place to be if you want to get advice and direction from some seriously talented musical people who have been where you want to go. Music news, events, and a great big community with resources for artists, songwriters, musicians, studio and tech, along with music business advice from pros in the industry, all on one site? Make sure you get your free profile now. Go to www.musicstartshere.org. That's musicstartshere.org.
You're listening to the business side of music.
Summer night, storm clouds in the air. My eyes a little heavy. I'm feeling in the past and I'm hardly aware. I don't want you on the phone. Don't you play good girl with me? Why must I always say it again? I got a new girl now.
Hey, we're back in the studio. Johnnie Dee, Derry Grehen, Dave Betts. It's not the Honeymoon Suites. It is Honeymoon Suite. But during the break, we were talking about that a little bit. Figured out who the comedian was.
I did figure out. It was, and I'll try. It's a podcast. We can take as long as we want. can't we?
Absolutely.
So it was in 1984, and we just finished. It was in the fall, and we just finished that tour. It might have been in the middle of that tour with Jethro Tull. And remember that Nike gear that we got, that free Nike gear? And I remember wearing those blue things. Anyway, it was an outdoor show at the World's Fair that year in New Orleans. Very hot, very humid. And CBC Television in Canada decided to film a special down there with Rich Little and Jim Carrey. Now, Jim Carrey, Canadian fellow, was known as an impressionist initially before he was an actor. So the fact that CBC had Rich Little, the famous impressionist, and Jim Carrey, and they had some guests on it. They had Honeymoon Suite. They had a band, one of Derry's favorite bands called the Nylons. Remember the Nylons?
I sure do.
Yeah. So the Nylons were on it, and some other people. And apparently Rich Little, and I remember we went out on stage, because it was done as a television show, there, and in the audience, it was in a small amphitheater full of blue-haired women. So we get out there, and, oh my God, we got to lip sync a song, Burning in Love. And so we go out there.
He remembers the
You
song.
remember that?
I got more because it's
We
very
lip-synced
embarrassing.
Wait,
of course we were.
Wait, it gets better.
It gets better. So we get out there, Honeymoon Suite, and we get out there and we're playing and we're faking it, and it's very, very hot and humid. And silly me, I only brought one pair of drumsticks up. So halfway through the song, I'm playing, and all of a sudden, zing! My drumsticks goes flying, and I can't continue to play the song. So I stand up and, do this. And then all of a sudden some guy comes out, what? And he starts shooting, what's the matter here? I dropped my drumstick. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to do it again. Oh, Jesus Christ. And so I came back and sat down, and then we faked it again, and we did it again.
How am I supposed to remember that, man?
Wow.
You don't remember that?
We had to take it again?
You had to do it halfway. You had to start again.
Okay,
Because
well,
I knew it was on the tape. It wasn't live.
The reason why I remembered it because Rich Little called us Honeymoon Suites with an S instead of Honeymoon Suite, and that's how I remember
that's
it.
where we're going to correct it today.
Yeah.
We got it all down.
It's hard enough. We're a new band, right? Like, get the name of our band right,
If you can't get on the title credits on
I
Lethal
saw the
Weapon,
show.
at
I
least say
don't
the
remember
name right.
that coming across on the show.
Okay,
so
well-
they may have fixed that.
What's that?
They may have fixed that when they, may have overdubbed it later in the, because it was
Okay,
aired
well-
like about 4 weeks later.
Well, then it must have been the Honeymoon Suite or something, just not right.
But anyway, that's my Jim Carrey, Rich Little, throwing drumsticks at blue-haired women story.
At the Honeymoon Suites. Yeah. What's next now? The project, how much longer you got on it, do you think?
Well, we got shows, we got tours to do coming up, right? It'll be quick. Like I was saying earlier, it's a matter of overdubbing now and finishing up these vocals. So we're pretty close.
There's an urgency to it because the people we're working with, Rich Redmond plays with Jason Aldean, and he's going to be a busy boy, when they're startup. So I want to get this done. And this is, we have a little more downtime now this time of year before we get rolling, so it's perfect. So I just want to keep hitting this and get it done. That's why I was saying earlier, this sense of, let's get it finished. It's going to make it better just in that respect. So hopefully it'll be done in like a month or two.
How many cuts on the album?
We've got 11 new originals. So we'll see where it goes. It might not come down to 10. Don't know.
Yeah, don't know until it's all done.
And you know what? There's always another song lurking. Sometimes a song just comes up, and it becomes 12.
Who was talking? Was that you the other day saying like sometimes you just go right to the end, and then sometimes you can those bands that have that hit song that was just done at the very last second.
Absolutely, and the beauty of Mike's situation, and this happens a lot now with the writing. A lot of people do record now. A lot of songwriters will record the song as they write it because everybody's got a demo studio at home.
Right.
So Mike's setup is such that if there's a good idea there, we just cut it right then and there. We actually write that thing, map it out, go down, get the drum track, and there's your song. And that, in my experience, the best ones are always written fast. The album might be done, and we might need another track, or somebody will be playing something. They'll say, "What's that?" And you cut that one in 10 minutes, and it ends up being the big hit. Well,
wasn't this originally a writing session for you guys? You and Johnny came down to sort of meet Mike, and then all of a sudden,
exactly,
he had some good ideas, and Mike said, "Let me go downstairs and throw a drum track down, and let's play a bass track."
Exactly. We came here to meet Mike, and bang, it was just like bang, bang, bang.
And Rich.
And Mike and Rich, of course. But initially, that's how it started. And it was just, a good connection immediately.
Yeah.
You got to have the vibe there, and it felt right. Vibe, because we've been through this before, trying to find a producer for our records, and it's kind of like dating. We take meetings and talk to guys, but it's hard to find the one that you feel comfortable with, that gets it, and Mike gets it.
It's a creative process, and you're basically bearing your heart and your soul when you write these songs, and you want whoever's producing them. I mean, you're giving birth to something that's a part of you. So you want that person to understand and be on the same level.
Well, Mike is a Canadian, like I said. He grew up listening to Honeymoon Suite. He's a little bit younger than us, but he's a super fan. So he gets it. He knows the band. But at the same time, he knows how to take our music and keep it
Honeymoon Suite.
Keep it Honeymoon Suite, but make it current so it's not dated.
Well, it's going to be, you can say all that, it's not dated, whatever, but it's going to be Honeymoon Suite, whatever it is.
Yeah. I mean, like dated in the production.
Yes. Okay.
He's got such cool stuff out there to make things, take it from this level to that level.
Right. Yeah. Physical product when it's done, downloads. How are you going to get it out to the masses?
Well, that's a business sort of thing. Their company has a huge plan. Like if we had to get into it, I'd be here for another hour, and I don't even know it. I have to write all that stuff down. But they have plans. They have ideas and ways to do things. Well, at the end of the day, we'll probably release one track.
Take it from there.
Yeah. All right. But at the end of the day, we're going to be playing some of this stuff live. I'm not going to say, hey, this is a new song. I'm just going to play it. That's the way I started doing this, and just get up on stage, start playing the stuff. And then, if they like it, people get their phones up. What song is that?
You guys are going to be on the road touring. How can the fans find out where you're going to be?
They can go to Facebook. We're on Facebook and Instagram. The tour dates are on Facebook. CanadianClassicRock.com is our booking agency. All the dates are posted there.
And our website.
HoneymoonSuite.com.
HoneymoonSuite.com. Yeah. Very good. Gentlemen, thank you for being on the show. This is great.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you for having us, Bob. Pleasure.
And
Thank you, Bob.
And welcome to Nashville.
Thank you.
Hey, don't forget to check out our affiliates, including Lab Canna, fine hemp products since 2014. Click on their link on our website for more information and how to order their product line. Also, don't forget to check out our other affiliate, Music Starts Here. You can find them at www.musicstartshere.org. Probably the best one-stop shop for the singer, songwriter, or aspiring musician who is relocating to Nashville or wants to. Also, shameless plug for the business side of music. Become a YouTube subscriber. Check out our website at www.businesssideofmusic.com. Follow us on Facebook at the Business Side of Music Podcast or on Twitter at Business Side of Music Podcast.
The Business Side of Music is the creation of Tom Sabella and Traci Snow and is produced by Bob Bender. The Business Side of Music is recorded at Music Dog Studios in Los Angeles, California and Nashville, Tennessee. Production sound designed by Keith Stark. Voiceover and promo by Lisa Fuson.